pretty sight, huh?
So we traveled all the way to the high mountains to visit one of my beloved mentors to see if we could get this extremely affordable custom rifle set up using this extremely cheap barrel. You can get these blanks for under $100 to see if we could get it to shoot as good as a premium grade European, honest to God, bona fide sniper rifle like this one here that costs over $10,000.
Yeah, so we're adjusting something ergonomically, correct?
So it's very, very cold out right now, right? And so the only thing that we have is this, I'm guessing some type of carbon fiber, just the way it feels, like 3D printed stuff, which is fine. So I have these cold screws. I have this cold tube. I have winter clothing on, and I don't have anything mass-wise holding it. And I'm just shooting from the prone, and I don't have a big, pump pillow or anything like that.
So the way the ergonomics is here is we need a little more volume on that rear end, so that you can grab into it.
And just push it, more comfortably within.
This is an old school soldier technique you're doing here?
Yeah, well, so in the cold weather, right, it's like, what do you have on you? You have your mittens, and if you need volume or to get your face off of it, like when it's Arctic, so it doesn't, blow, or your face doesn't freeze to the metal parts.
Right.
And so, like that, put the neck gaiter over it even to hold it. I would take the 550 cord off and tie it. But I'm just trying to build up mass, volume, like you said. The ears on?
Yes, sir.
Fucking sunlight.
Yeah, it just popped out.
Zeroed.
We got it zeroed. So that's your first 3 shots after we kind of dialed it in, right?
Yeah, and you can see the back that's not punched.
And we had the sun pop out. Yep.
Yep, and so I called that last one that was off.
Okay.
So
Which one was the off one?
the top one.
Oh, geez. Terrible.
Yeah.
So that's fingernail size.
So that cheap gun will shoot. Like, it'll shoot. I knew it will shoot. I just had to get my ergonomics with it by modifying it my way for my body. But once settled in, totally doable. Now let's hopefully I could shoot the $14,000 rifle as good. So, all right.
Howdy guys, Rex here. Today we're going to talk about the Outlier USA Precision Barrel. This is by popular request, and many of you are wanting a review of this barrel because it's extremely affordable and you're curious, does it shoot? So I have a test rifle here that's on a Savage Axis Action. It has the Outlier chassis, but I have a MTU Contour 24-inch barrel on this 308 right here. And I did shoot it. I got my first test group, and I had my mentor also verify. I mean, he was the one who shot it first before I did. He actually got to zero it for me. But he did his first test group. I have the targets right here, okay? And we'll do a full comprehensive review of the entire system very soon. It's in the hopper, it's ready to roll. So this is, to introduce you to the feature set real quick, this is Outlier USA Precision Rifle Barrel, made 100% in the USA, of course. Man, and I have a lot of experience. I've shot Lilja, Hart, Brux, Krieger, all the different custom barrels over the years. I've had like, Proof, all kinds of really good barrels out there. A huge part of it, though, regardless of how good of quality the barrel might be, is it going to be cut appropriately back here so that your action threads and your chambering and the reaming and everything's done perfectly well so that the sum total of the equation comes out on the proper end of the spectrum. It's important to get the gunsmithing done correctly. So when you buy a barrel that's ready to roll, like the blanks that you can buy for these are under $100. So you can get a brand new Outlier precision barrel for like $69. Now they have a whole service where you can specify your action. They'll do all that work for you. Specify your chamber. They'll chamber it for you. Those are critical functions that can add up cumulatively to kind of really add to the cost. They do the muzzle threads up here. This is actually their brake as well. And you can see that, that's their muzzle brake. And we got to experience that. It works pretty good. So let's talk about the features real quick. The Outlier is, of course, made in the United States, 416 stainless steel, 5R button rifled. I really like the 5R rifling. This 1 in 30 caliber is 1 in 8 twist, 5R. It's CNC machined, of course, and it's hand lapped, and it has 5/8 by 24 threads on the front, so you can put all your muzzle devices. This is a timeable muzzle brake. You just loosen the screw here, and you can get this perfectly timed and tighten it down. And this was developed, I think, kind of by the PRS crowd. PRS shooters had a major influence on the development of this barrel design. And also, I know they spent a lot of time researching and developing their mass production procedures and systems so they can consistently produce these at a rate that's extremely affordable, but is extremely consistently good. So there was a lot of development into polishing up how they make these things. They are available in other calibers. This one, again, is a 30 caliber. They have them in 6mm, 243 caliber. I think the twist is 1 in 7. They have it in 6.5mm or 264 caliber. Also a 1 in 7 twist. That's designed for longer range, heavier bullets. You can shoot other stuff in there too, but it's optimized for long range, precision, long profile bullets with a little bit tighter of a twist. 7mm, 284 as well. So you can get them in 7mm barrels. And that's a 1 in 8 twist, and then this 30 cal is a 1 in 8 twist. And they have barrel lengths from 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and 26. So you specify when you order these things, just like what caliber do you want, what length do you want, and what contour do you want. They have them available, and I think right now 2 different contours, MTU and a 1.2-inch bull barrel. So this particular barrel is a 1.2-inch bull barrel, and that's what I have on this rifle. And you order them to finish. They'll get the fit and finish all done by ordering this. Basically, you need to realize, though, too, that both the MTU contour and the 1.2-inch bull barrels are a heavy profile barrel. They're probably not going to fit in a lot of your stocks. So that's why they also offer the Outlier chassis. I'll do a full comprehensive review on that. I already did a review earlier, kind of a first look at the chassis. I'm getting more time on it, and I'll do the full review very, very soon as a system altogether. There's a number of different pre-fits you can do for your action. You can either get a blank, or for an upcharge of like $45, which is very affordable, really, you can get the Bergara B14, the Howa 1500, you can do the Remington 700, you can do the Savage Small, and the Mossberg Patriot, the Remington 783, the Aero Solus, the Bighorn, the Zermatt. You can do the Savage Large action. You can do the Tikka T3 and the Ruger American. So there's a lot of different actions that these will fit in. And also, the Outlier chassis comes very configurable to a whole variety of different actions as well, and different magazine types. So you can order them fluted. They'll I think they have 5 really deep flutes that really take a lot of weight off of here, but you still maintain a lot of your rigidity. You can learn more about the geometry of the rigidity of the barrel versus the flutes and the surface area to volume ratio and all that on the Long Range Precision 101 series we did years and years ago. We talked pretty thoroughly about that topic. Now you can do a black nitride finish where you have no flutes. It's add $60, or you can do the black nitride finish with the stainless flutes. So it's cut afterwards. That's a $120 upgrade. Or you can do the 5 deep flutes where it's all black. So depending on your style, your preference, they do all those things for you at the factory there. So you can order it completely ready to just screw into the rifle. They do offer chambering services for each one of these barrels. In the 30 caliber, they can chamber them. They can either leave it a blank, so you can have your gunsmith custom chamber it, Or you can have it done in 308 Winchester, 300 PRC, or 300 Win Mag. For the 7mm barrels, you can do a 7mm blank. You can do a 7mm Remington Magnum, 7mm 08 Remington, or 7mm PRC. For the 6.5s, you can do a blank 6.5s. You can do a Wildcat, or you can do a 6.5 Creedmoor. You can do a 6.5 PRC, and I think the same thing with the 243. You can do 243 Winchester or 6mm Creedmoor. So there's a lot of different chambering options they can do for you. Of course, anything in between, you would just need to have a gunsmith chamber it for you with a custom reamer, right? The ReZero muzzle brake here, I think, is a little over $100, but gosh darn, it worked pretty good. It has a 30-degree baffle here, and I'll provide this in the full report, okay, of how this thing performed. But it reduces muzzle flip like almost down to zero. There's no muzzle flip. Even if you're doing like free recoil shooting, like if you're in the PRS, right, and you got a little more recoil, I was shooting 175s out of this and putting it next to a heavy, like a Steyr SFG-08, which is a pretty heavy rifle. This thing had almost zero muzzle flip. Shooting it side by side with another heavy system, it's very effective. So the muzzle flip's pretty much eliminated with that baffle. Plus, it seems to direct a lot of the blast up and kind of away from you. It doesn't reverberate off the ground. I don't know if you guys do a lot of shooting prone on the ground or off the bench. The muzzle blast, if it's just coming out the sides and not being directed upwards, it'll slap off the ground, that supersonic muzzle blast, and it'll reverberate off the ground and hit you right in the face. It hits you right in the temple here, right in the side of the face. It can be very, very fatiguing to have overpressure fatigue from that. So this directs a lot of that blast upwards over your head so that it reduces the fatigue. It's not that terrible to shoot off a flat surface. So that's kind of a nice feature, okay? They also provide nitriding services, which according to their testing, I haven't tested that yet, their nitride services will like increase your barrel length by a significant amount. And we'll talk more about that when those actually come out and we get a little more testing done with those. But so here's the Outlier barrel, what it looks like. I'm going to show you how it's shot. feel my fingers. Gosh. Last 5 rounds, I couldn't feel my fingers or the trigger or anything. It's not that cold, but this rifle is very cold. And it sucks when you touch the metal, just sucks the heat right out of you. So I think that's pretty good. We can go check it out. Whew. So the first shot was a completely ice cold rifle, straight out of the car. Been sitting there overnight. It got down in the 20s, I think, in temperature, maybe in the upper mid 20s. And so it's morning, and we went out and just had breakfast, and it is a cold rifle. So the first shot was dead cold. Second shot, a little warmer. By the end of a 10-shot group, it should have warmed up significantly. So we are testing for just, and it's a dirty bore. Not filthy, but it's should be seasoned now. For if it's highly polished, seasoning should be adequate, but it seems to be putting them kind of pretty close together. There's not a huge amount of delta between those different shots. I mean, from cold to hot, what you'll see a lot of times is the action and barrel, are threaded together. They'll warm up at different rates as the rifle warms, because it's hot, real hot in the chamber. So the barrel will tighten up and change the point of impact. This is just the axis action with the Outlier barrel in it. And we'll see how well it did here in a second. A 10-shot group looks like about inside a minute. You want to retrieve that for me, sweetheart? Very carefully. That's our first group after returning from the high mountains, leaving the weapon in the car. We didn't clean anything. We left the ammo in the car as well, so the ammo is cold. Here, if you can hold this for me right here. It's right there, don't move. So, there she is. It's 100 yards exactly. 10 shots at 100 yards exactly. Up a little bit. There. It's inside a minute, I'd just say. We'll measure it, of course, after a bit. But that's like really good for an affordable rifle to put 10 shots inside a minute. And in all honesty, it's not my best shooting either. I can see my movement down there. My movement was probably about this much, maybe a little less, but my wiggling and movement at the break of the shot is not perfect. That was the first time I ever used that trigger. I've not even tried it, and it's cold enough to where my fingers got cold towards the end. They were all seeming to be right there in the bottom left side for the first whole string of fire. And as my fingers got cold and moved just a, eighth of an inch, quarter inch to the right. But that's pretty gosh darn good shooting rifle. 10 shots. First try at 100 yards in a significant 17 to 20 mile an hour wind. Uncomfortable, etc. That's like a field accuracy. And I'm using sandbags
to minimize my biological problems, but pretty gosh darn accurate for an affordable rifle like that, right?
This is my first group of 10 shots. So the rifle was dead cold from the first shot, and from dead cold freezing temperature was the rifle, and I did a 10 round string of fire off my bench, off of sandbags. It started off really small, and then it got a little bigger after 10 full shots. So that's a 10 shot group. So the group is 0.838 inches. So Outlier USA guarantees these barrels to 1 minute of angle. And our average between the both of us, from Brother Saw's group and my group, when you average it out, the average is like 0.54 inches at 100 yards, which is like practically half a minute of angle. So they guarantee 1 minute of angle. Both of us, between us, got about half minute of angle. That's very good performance for a budget-priced premium barrel that's under $100. So $100 barrel keeps up with stuff that's $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $12,000. I've shot some of the most expensive sniper rifles in the world. They shoot about like this when you get 10 shots on paper. Now, if you go with F-class precision, there's special techniques that those guys do on their giant systems. There's special chamberings they do. This has a field type chamber. It's a precision chamber, but I was running, you can run normal ammo through this. This is designed to be used with budget ammo. In fact, I was using their budget ammo line, the Outlier ammo. I don't think that's out yet, but we're shooting 175 grain Sierra Match Kings. The action options you have with the chassis, you can pause that and look at it. You have all kinds of stuff. You have Howas, Mossbergs, Remingtons, Rugers, Savages, and Tikas for the chassis options. Pretty darn cool, guys. So to get straight to the point and bottom line up front, the barrel works very well. And this is the cheapest action I think we could find, because you can get the actions if you just buy the action for like $230 or $225 or something like that, which is pretty affordable. And very soon I will provide the comprehensive comparative test between this as a system and what do I got it right over here? And that thing right there. So that's like a $13,000 sniper rifle setup, an authentic premium Scharfschützengewehr SSG versus this. And so we'll talk about the differences between premium systems and why they cost as much money as they do. They're accomplishing different things. And a system like this that extremely efficiently will give you decent reliability and plenty good precision performance. So I'm going to do a full review answering that question next. If you guys stay tuned, subscribe, ring the bell. You should get the updates whenever that next one comes out. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and take it easy. Rex out.